Happy Epic Weekend.
Happy Epic Weekend. Happy Epic Weekend.
Welcome to Happy Epic Weekend.
Let us introduce ourselves.
My name's Joe.
And I'm Jai.
You can find out more about us here. Our websites are below. Welcome to the show, a new YouTube show for 2017, going into 2018, and hopefully for longer. We're both professional entertainers and musicians, and we decided to come together and collaborate and make a show for you. Now, Happy Epic Weekend as a channel, we want to create content to amuse and entertain you, be it using our musical talents or doing extreme sports or trying out new inventions, gadgets, ways of life. It's somewhere to hang out on a weekend.
Yeah, and we want you to be there. We want this to be your community.
It's for you. And you can hang out with us every Friday, Saturday, and eventually live Random Epic Sundays.
Now that is going to be fun.
It's going to be a great time between us both. So between myself and Jai, we'd like to welcome you formally to our channel. This is the first episode in the first series.
I am excited beyond belief.
I am a quiver with excitement, dear fellow.
And what we'd like to do is just, while we're here, lay down the rules.
Yeah.
We want to keep everything clean.
Everything clean, family friendly. Everyone deserves to have an epic weekend. And look, we have a bad sense of humour and a dark sense of humour like everyone. But there's a time and a place for that. And normally it's Tumblr. But
which is why we do not have a Tumblr account.
We don't. We're not going to Tumblr. But however,
you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat.
And they will all be running down here below. But like we said, we want to keep this lighthearted and fun because the world's a hard place right now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of good that we can all come together as a community. Leave your comments below in the sub and let us know exactly what's going on with your weekend. What makes your weekend epic and what you'd like to see from this show. We want to join together, join forces with you.
So as this show is all about weekends, we would like to ask you what you like to do with your weekend. And first, how do you like to start your weekend?
Well, for me, my weekend normally starts... Normally I work at the weekends because I'm a musician, but...
That's the way it is.
But my weekend or my time off, because everyone has their weekend at a different time, my time off normally starts with coffee in the morning and watching a bit of YouTube, actually.
What do you watch on YouTube?
I watch lots of different things. One of the inspirations for this channel is something I watch called Good Mythical Morning.
Ah, yes.
I'm, in fact, a mythical beast. And Rhett and Link did a lot more than just entertainment. I caught their 1000th episode, and they had their mythical beast, their community. We need a name for our community as well, so let us know in the comments below. But
something like Mythical Beasts, but not Mythical Beasts.
Obviously not. Their community, the Mythical Beasts, they sent their videos in explaining what the show meant to them, and it meant a lot more to them than I think even Rhett and Link realised, and that kind of inspired me, seeing that there was a need for that out there, for people to have a community, to something to be part of. So again, leave your comments below.
What I like to do what
do you do in the weekends?
On the weekends, I start my Saturday morning, because obviously after a long week, you're tired, you're feeling a little bit meh. So I like to refresh myself.
Okay.
Now I'm going to show you what I do. Well, you're going to... I'll talk it through. You're going to do it.
What is that? That's a HEW.
It's not a HEW.
It's a HEW.
It's not a HEW. The HEW is how some ladies like to urinate at festivals. Or
it's a plastic penis.
So they can stand and pee.
Yeah.
Now, this is a Neti pot.
A Neti pot?
It's from India. And
whereabouts in India, do you know?
I don't know where exactly. It's very old tradition from H.E.W.
Now you have family in Mumbai.
That's right.
Well, don't you? And we actually have a few viewers. We have a few viewers in India. It might be your family.
It might be my family. We don't know.
Hello to our Indian subscribers and viewers.
So, the Neti pot. What you do is you fill it with warm, sterilised salt water.
It's got to be sterilised. You've done that by boiling it?
I boiled it and then I let it cool. The water, if it's too hot or too cold, because it's going to go up your nose. What you do is you put your head like this and you tilt it, and what happens is the water goes all the way up, goes into your sinuses, which are in your, just basically around here, and empties
Flushes them. And you're going to show everyone how that's done?
No, you're going to show them. Right. So I'll set it up for you.
Okay.
And
this, it will go up one nose and come out the other?
That's right.
I'm not going to choke?
Now, this is... It is good for allergies. It's good for if you're just quite a generally bunged up person. It's good for... There's many health benefits to it.
Right.
But I do recommend that you consult your doctor if you have any concerns.
So what? Okay.
And I wouldn't do it if you have... if you're feeling... If you've got like... Yeah. That's going to come out of that force. So
Right. Okay. So it's pressure based.
it's basically wait, before you start, remember to breathe through your mouth. If you breathe through your nose, you're going to choke.
And we practiced this earlier, and Jai forgot to tell me that. He didn't tell me that fact until after I was choking on the floor, spluttering up water and snot. So let's give this a go again.
Okay.
So I remember how to do this. So we put this up the nose.
Now, traditionally, yogis would would perform this using their own urine.
What?
Yeah, and
I can't imagine having
Okay,
my urine coming out my nose.
swap over now, mate. Do you want to? There's a towel just there, I think. Is there,
Right,
or
down
a
here,
tissue?
isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
It feels exactly like. You know what it feels like is when you're. It definitely clears you out, but it feels a bit like, you know, when you've been to a swimming pool, then you jump in and you get that whoosh of chlorine, you know, you get the water up your nose, and
Well, there's
like
a salt in it, isn't there? So that's sodium salt, but chlorine is a type of salt.
Because it's sodium chloride.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
some.
Yeah.
So
So
it's scientific too here. And now I need to do the other
do
nostril.
the other
right?
nostril. That's right. Yeah. Clean it out both sides. The health benefits to this.
Oh, go better. That nostril's harder.
I don't like to do this too often. I like to, I do it once a week. That's why.
Oh,
How do you feel?
refreshing.
Refreshed. Good.
You know, before we start the next segment, I have to say I did actually quite like the Neti pot. I know it didn't seem like it, but it did clear me. It has now worked. I'm actually really
You sound more clear.
It's really cleared me out.
Yeah, and I think I could tell by what fell into that bowl
I'd
when you
use
first
that
did
again.
it.
That's worth it. With a little bit of uncomfort. It's just a bit unnatural having water go in and out kind of your nostrils.
It's not. It doesn't feel natural when you first do it, but once you do it, it's very relaxing. And
it's
once
not
you get
bad.
into the habit of doing it,
See, I think though, if we find something epic that we do or that we review, if we find it truly epic, we should honour it by doing what we also do for a living and write a jingle for it. Now I've got an ukulele here, Polynesian
ukulele?
instrument. And we'll just tune it quickly. It's my dog's got fleas. That's how you tune it. Your own versions of that in the comments below as well. Make us laugh. My dog's got fleas. So start with a G. 2, 3, 4. If your nose is full of snot, try our epic Neti pot. That's what we propose. A colonic for your nose. Oh yeah. Now we here at Happy Epic Weekend like to discuss and do and try all manner of things, but one thing in particular we both enjoy.
conspiracy theory.
Indeed. And that's why we're going to name this next segment Tinfoil Hat Friday. Now, we couldn't make our tinfoil hats ourselves. Apparently, we are completely and utterly inept. So we got our producer, Emma, to make them for us. Emma, would you kindly hand us the tinfoil hats? Thank you very kindly.
you.
Fantastic. We shall don these to protect our brain from the aliens as we now indulge in Tinfoil Hat Friday. Or Foil Hat Friday.
Foil Hat Friday.
Foil Hat Friday, as we're calling it. So this Foil Hat Friday, there's many conspiracies we can cover. For example, I mean, North Korea, they came out saying they discovered unicorns.
Unicorns.
Unicorns. They attributed it to the great Kim Jong-un, saying that he discovered these unicorns, the unicorn lair.
Where was it in Korea?
It was in Pyongyang.
In the capital city?
In the capital city, in Pyongyang, they found a lair on a mountain that apparently contained unicorns. And the mythical beast, the unicorn, was ridden by one of the great kings of Asia at that point, in 6 BC, in fact.
Now, is there any evidence of this?
There's not a lot of evidence, but we did get in contact with a North Korean defector, and he gave us an artist's impression of what the unicorns may look like.
Let's have a look. Fascinating.
That's exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
Just breathtaking.
Majestic.
Majestic. The majestic unicorn. But you know, here on Happy Epic Weekend, of course on Tinfoil Hat Friday, we appreciate that everyone believes different things, but we don't take conspiracy theories too seriously. Now, this week we have a very interesting conspiracy theory for you.
The Mandela Effect, right?
The Mandela Effect.
Now, the conspiracy theory came down from the thought that basically Mandela died in 2013. Now,
Are you sure?
Well, this is the thing. So many people, when he died, came out and said, hang on a minute, I thought he died in the 80s.
Okay, yeah. To be fair, I was one of those people.
The Mandela Effect is when someone when you are convinced that something happened or something is the way it is, and you look at it, actually isn't, and
like I'm
happens over large
convinced that I've got $1 million in my bank account, and this show
But no one
has a
believes
million
that, Joe.
subscribers.
No one believes that.
No, so like and subscribe and make my fiction a reality.
So, you did a little research into this as well.
I did because I found this interesting because I've had moments. I mean, I've had moments like deja vu where I felt like something's happened before, but I've also had moments of deja vu where I felt like it's happened before and it hasn't.
Right.
So this for me put a terminology to what it was that I was going through.
What examples have you?
Well, my favourite one. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Heads up to any Star Wars fans out there. I was like Star Wars. Everyone thinks the line. Everyone thinks the famous line from Empire Strikes Back is, Luke, I am your father.
Is it not?
No.
What is it?
The famous line is, no, I am your father. So there you go, there's one. What have you got?
So I got the Monopoly Man. Describe to me how the Monopoly Man is dressed, please.
As in the game.
As in the Monopoly, yeah, the game Monopoly.
Okay, he's got a top hat. He's very British. He's got a handlebar moustache, top hat, little tailcoat, and a monocle.
No monocle. The Monopoly Man does not have a monocle.
Yeah, he does.
No, go check the box. He does not have a monocle. Interesting.
Well, maybe they've
But
got...
so many people think he does.
Why do they think
I
he
thought
does?
he did. And then I checked it out, and he doesn't.
Let us know if you thought he had a monocle. Oh, my tinfoil.
Well,
the aliens have got my brain. Do you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll grab it from here.
Now, this week, we want to show you a new segment called
Make It Epic.
Make it epic. Make it epic.
And what this entails is we go and find someone who makes life epic for someone else.
Yeah, it does their little bit of good any day of the week. Of course, we focus on the weekends. But any day of the week, even a smile can change someone's life. But this week is a little different.
Because this week, it was me who made it epic.
We made a weekend epic definitely for someone, and we got a little bit of footage here to show you how.
Okay, so the Princess Trust, they make wigs for patients with chemo, give them their sense of identity back, after losing their hair. Money raised will go to cancer research, which has reduced the rate of deaths after diagnosis, in fact, down to about 50% for the first time in history. Anyone can do this if you've got 30 centimetres of hair, which is about a ruler. I'm putting in just a little bit extra just in case.
I'll tell you a story that happened to me. One day as I went down all by the sea, the sun it was high and the day it was warm. Says I, a quite pint wouldn't do me no harm. I went to O'Brady's and called for a stout. Says the barman, I'm sorry, all the beer is sold out. Try whiskey or paddy, 10 years in the wood. Says I, I'll try cider, I've heard that it's good. Hey! Oh never, oh never, oh never again, if I live to be 100 or 110. For I fell to the ground and I couldn't get up after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. Hey!
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
You can do that down the bottom there with the comments. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Snapchat.
And whatever you do this weekend.
Oh, before we do that,
yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to someone very special who's behind the camera. Emma, would you come in here, please? This is our producer,
yes.
Emma. Come and join us here. Now, Emma normally will be bringing a bottle of wine with her, and we will finish the episode with a bottle of wine because it is the weekend. Come take a seat. This is Emma, our producer.
Hello.
You can reach her the same ways through our Twitter as well. And, well, it's our first episode, and thank you so much for tuning in. And we'd like to wish you a happy, epic weekend and say once again, whatever you do this weekend,
Make sure
it's epic.